The Path to Peace, A Beginner's Guide to Meditation. Written and read by Joshua Eternos Bryson. Preface. This guide has been crafted to assist those who desire to grow in identity, peace, and spirituality. Its purpose isn't to force any religious, spiritual, or scientific belief upon you, but rather to provide you with the tools necessary to start your own journey on the discovery of truth. Every human is free and powerful to think for themselves. Do not take what is contained in this guide as truth just because it has come from me. Rather, test it and see if you come to the same conclusions I have. Finally, if there is only one thing each reader of this guide could internalize, I would want it to be the importance of practice. It is easy for humans to theorize and form quick-witted counter-arguments as to why things shouldn't work. However, much more courage is required to consistently outwork and experiment with a principle or exercise to see if it does what it promises to do. Enjoy. Chapter 1. Introduction. From the day you were born, you have been conditioned to focus on that which is external. This is not your fault. It is a byproduct of how the current society we live in was designed. We're conditioned to prioritize outward appearance, status, monetary gain, and other fleeting ideals. These may seem attractive on a surface level, but when exalted above one's inherent divinity, it can cause more damage than good. There is nothing wrong with looking good, being wealthy, or in positions of power. In fact, considering we are the direct offspring of a divine royal family, this should be normal. However, trying to obtain these things whilst being imbalanced internally is like restoring the cladding and painting the exterior of a house that is burning inside. When you begin to engage the practices outlined in this book, one of the abilities you will gain will allow you to sense the energy field and heart conditions of those you encounter in daily life. You will find that many who put effort into maintaining a certain image externally often wrestle with deep-rooted issues stemming from traumatic events and other unfortunate circumstances. Once you develop inner peace, your mental health and quality of life will augment significantly. Why? Simply because your sanity will no longer be dependent on the environment you are situated in. For your benefit, I have tested the techniques in this book in some of the most hectic and dark environments I could intentionally immerse myself in, amid street fights, clubs, etc. I have found that the light energy living in the core of your being is infinitely stronger than all the negative forces that may be actively working against you. With enough practice, you can harness the light and facilitate the flow of limitless peace from your innermost being out into the world. Summary. The most valuable thing in life is your divinity. You have the power to influence your environment, work on your interior before stressing over your exterior. Chapter 2. The World. The people yield themselves with perfect docility to our molding hand. Frederick Taylor Gates, Baptist clergyman and business advisor to John D. Rockefeller. We shall not try to make these people, or any of their children, into philosophers or men of learning or science. We are not to raise up from among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for great artists, painters, and musicians. Frederick Taylor Gates. I want a nation of workers, not thinkers. John D. Rockefeller. Many of you may be familiar with Hosea chapter 4 verse 6, which states, "My people perish due to a lack of knowledge." This principle teaches us that death is a direct result of low consciousness. If you aren't aware of what is possible, you will struggle to obtain it. The modern education system was designed to keep humanity under a vice, rather than to liberate it. We were never taught about the abundance and divinity that dwells within us. We were never taught about how to convert our innate interests into income and live a purposeful life. Instead, we were funneled through a rigid scheme where a controlled amount of information was periodically fed to us in increments that the overseers deemed fit. Sets were created to instill division amongst ourselves and to give us a false sense of superiority over others while simultaneously making others feel unworthy and less than. This is all within a system that mostly grades students on their ability to remember and regurgitate information rather than obtaining a deep understanding of the subject matter. But what does this have to do with inner peace? Before you can unlock this peace, you need to understand where it lies. You must learn how to access it. It's essential for you to understand that this learning process will be radically different to that of the world's. True knowledge is experiential. Until you experience this peace and actively walk through the process of unlocking it, you can have no real knowledge of it. You may believe it exists, but won't know it does. As a result, this process may initially feel uncomfortable and unrewarding, but in the long run will benefit you greatly, as this practical approach to learning places your personal growth and development at the center. There is no pressure. Take your time. Work through the teachings at your own pace. So long as you consistently practice, you will reap the results. Summary: if you are unaware of what is available, you are unlikely to achieve it. True knowledge comes from experiencing something for yourself. Take your time. Chapter 3: A religious misconception. Let us now delve into why you chose to read this guide. One of the key foundations essential to unlocking inner peace, as well as 95% of all the other spiritual, physical, and astral pursuits you may have, is meditation. Meditation is a practice used to focus and hone the mind. It can be used to train attention and awareness, achieve mental clarity, emotional control, and altered states of consciousness. It can also be used to heal your own body, as well as to venture beyond it, out-of-body experiences. There are a plethora of benefits and uses of meditation, but first we are going to deconstruct some misconceptions commonly associated with meditation amongst mainstream religious circles. Many Christian denominations believe that meditations, including forms of meditation that don't stem around focusing on Jesus, are demonic. Let us deal with the notion that meditation itself is demonic. Below is a list of canonical scriptures found within the Bible that support meditation. I have more insight than my teachers, for I meditate on your statutes. Psalms 119, verse 99. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Psalm 37, verse 7. My eyes stay open through the night watches, that I may meditate on your promises. Psalm 119, verse 148. Meditate on it day and night, and you will be prosperous and successful. Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, for he trusts in you. Isaiah 26, verse 3. He went out into the field one evening to meditate. Genesis 24, verse 63. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent. Psalm 4, verse 4. Be still and know that I am God. Psalms 46, verse 10. Set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. Colossians 3, verse 2. There are also apocryphal texts that support the practice of meditation. Meditate continually in his commandments, and he shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom as thine own desire. Sirach 6, verse 37. Yeshua, going into the desert, meditated and fasted and prayed and obtained the power of the holy name, by which he wrought many miracles, and for 7 years he conversed with God face to face. Gospel of the Holy 12, Lection 6, verse 14 to 15a. Meditation is like prayer. The word itself simply means to focus deeply on something. It's a tool. The act of meditating isn't problematic in any way. However, the intentions held by the practitioner can be what distorts or twists the effect of the practice. See meditation as a key to accessing higher planes of existence. What you then choose to do with this power is up to you, but completely rejecting it because you have little understanding of how it works, or because some people use it for evil, does more harm than good. Imagine telling someone they shouldn't pray because some people pray to the devil. There is a reason why the Eastern world have a greater understanding of sacred science and how our anatomy within certain realms operate. It is simply because they have a culture that hasn't neglected its history and still values meditation and deep contemplation more than the West. Summary: meditation isn't demonic. If you believe meditation is demonic, according to your religious framework, ask God. Chapter 4. Benefits. Spiritual benefits. Increased awareness of union with the divine. This causes you to enter higher states of consciousness and connect with the God part of you. Hear God's voice. You will develop the ability to hear the voice of your Father. Spiritual sight. You can learn to see in the spirit through intention-based meditation. Serenity, peace, and love. Your aura, energy field, begins to emit powerful energy into your environment around you. This is how you begin to influence the environments around you, rather than vice versa. Angelic activity and communication. You can meet and engage with angels as you learn to tune into the angelic realm. Recently, I gave a friend of mine a practice to do, and he accidentally entered a realm where he was able to meet his guardian angel. Heavenly encounters and spirit travel. You can learn to visit your home and bilocationally dwell there. Heaven is open and available to those who have accepted their inclusion in the kingdom. Meditation can prepare and train the body, soul, and spirit for this journey, as well as others. Self-identity increases. Your spirit is your innermost being. By connecting with it, you gain an understanding of yourself that is second to none. Internal and external atmospheric development. This is more of a passive benefit, but you will become more whole. Physical and emotional benefits. Lower blood pressure. People who regularly practice meditation experience reductions in systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Relaxing alone can lower your blood pressure by more than 5 mm Hg. Dr. Joe Dispenza has published an array of studies displaying the limitless potential meditation provides when it comes to healing the body's ailments. Reduces joint pain. Muscle tension causes an increase in joint pain. Meditation relaxes the muscles, causing a decrease in pain experienced. Reduces anxiety. By relaxing and focusing on one thing, the bombardment of negative thoughts that cause stress and anxiety are reduced and eventually eliminated. This process can take time, but can transform your life for the better. Improves immune system. According to the University of Florida Health, only 8 days of intense meditation can cause the immune system to activate in a robust way. This decreases your susceptibility to disease and illness. Increased energy levels. A study conducted by the University of Waterloo in 2017 stated that after half an hour of meditation, most of their participants had improved energy levels. In the past, I have used meditation to surge energy through my body before sports events and during fasts. Sharpens memory. Meditation increases the capacity of the working memory. Both your short and long-term memory improve. During my A-level examinations, I capitalized off of this heavily. Through consistent meditation, I memorized the textbook in its entirety, cover to cover, and quoted it word for word in an exam. This was by far the easiest A-star I achieved. Reduces insomnia. Learning to control your breath and shut down parts of the body during meditation can cause you to enter deep, restful states. Meditation trains the body to disconnect quickly and can subsequently help teach you to fall asleep by intent. When restless, you can use meditation as a centering technique to pull you back into the rest. Helps manage depression. With consistent practice, meditation can eliminate depression. However, this requires a level of consistency that most people are not willing to maintain. Regardless, light practice will help you manage the symptoms as you can override pre-programmed responsive triggers generated in the brain. For those interested, a Harvard study found that 30 minutes of meditation for 8 weeks can help initiate changes within the hippocampus that are responsible for reducing depression. Summary: meditation improves mental and physical health and performance. Chapter 5. Effects. Don't panic if you experience any of the following during meditation. It's normal. Feeling warm or hot. This is a byproduct of circulating energy in the body. Feeling cool or cold. It's a less common manifestation, but still normal. Let your body adjust. Feeling light or floaty. Feeling as though you are as light as a feather can be the early stages of an OBE, outer body experience. Sometimes you may even float halfway out of your body unintentionally. Try to relax and get used to the sensation. Feeling heavy. You can also feel heavy and begin to sink. This is also another precursor to exiting the body or entering deeper trance-like states. Feeling pulled or drawn. You may feel as if you're being pulled up vertically or horizontally or drawn back and forth. Relax and let your spirit, soul and body do their thing. Spinning or swirling off axis. Sometimes your physical body can remain still and in one position, and then your soul and spirit can rotate and become off axis within the body. This too is normal. As you grow, you'll get used to operating as 3 people rather than 1. Vibrations and tingling. You will at some point experience vibrations or tingling in different parts of the body. In later publications or courses where I go into more advanced techniques, this will be a prominent precursor to out-of-body travel. Try to relax when you feel these vibrations. Pulsations in the brain and head. Meditation can awaken parts of the body, soul and spirit that have been dormant. The activation of the brain, as well as other structures within your soul and spirit, can come with you experiencing this. If you feel pressure or tingling in your forehead, it's perfectly normal. I found this out almost a year after experiencing it consistently and thinking something was wrong, so I thought I'd save you the trouble. Heavy urge to sleep. Adamic sleep, or deep sleep, can be triggered by meditation. As with all of the other effects, let it happen. You'll find yourself embarking on some nice adventures. Vacuum suction. I was meeting with God one afternoon and was shown a void that exists within humans. It was full of galaxies and stars. I then proceeded to feel this void within myself and understand that all parts of the universe are connected. This feeling of being in a vacuum or void is normal. Being unable to move the body. This is by far the scariest effect of meditation. This took me a while to get used to, but once you can cope with it, you can learn to enter dreams and travel in the spirit from being fully awake. The fear of death will arise the first few times you experience this, but you must remember, you are constantly protected by the light. Chapter 6. Preparation. Pick a location. When I started my journey in college, I chose a specific location on my bed in my room that I would practice on. This is a significant detail as it helps you develop meditation as a habit. By attaching an action to a specific location, every time you see the location, it becomes slightly easier to carry out the action, as it is associated with it. This is a principle adopted from James Clear. Tip: choose a quiet location where you won't be disturbed. Find your position. In your early sessions, try to find a position that allows for you to stay still for long periods of time without feeling discomfort. My personal advice is to get as technical with this as possible until you find what works. To this day, I sit with my back against the surface, be it a wall or couch, with my legs stretched forwards and my hands interlocked in a specific way. I find it easier to detach from my physical body when seated in this position. Finding out what works for you early on will skyrocket your development. Choose a time. I recommend meditating when you wake up and before you sleep. You can also do it during the day, of course. This is manageable for those who are starting to build up the habit though. For those in education, my morning routine looks something like this, and the times used here are approximations. 6 a.m, wake up. 6:05, shower. 6:20, meditate. 7 a.m, breakfast. 7:30, revise or make music. 8:30, school starts. When you get into a routine, it becomes natural. You enter a flow state. Try and incorporate meditation into your day seamlessly. Make it as easy as possible for you. This is supposed to be something you love and look forward to, not something you hate. Define your reasons. When I started meditating, I was unaware of the importance of setting intentions. Write a list of the reasons why you want to start meditating and what you want from it. Put the list somewhere visible and look at it every now and then. Writing the vision makes it easier to run with. Start small and build up. This is the last step. Do not overwork yourself. I started off with 5-minute sessions and built up to an hour over time. There is no shame in doing the same. 2 minutes of meditation daily is better than none. Use a meditation journal. Every time you meditate, write about what you feel and experience. Even if you don't see or feel anything, it is good to build up this habit. You will thank yourself in the future, as when you look back, you'll be able to track your progression. Use a timer. Record how long you can meditate for before becoming too agitated to continue. Use a stopwatch for your phone. Include the time spent in meditation when you write about it in the journal. This is a practical way you can build up endurance to spend more time in deeper states. Chapter 7. Basic Techniques. Union meditation. Its purpose is to relax the body and connect it with the divine nature within yourself. It also helps you familiarize yourself with the presence and feeling the light within you activate. Byproducts can include enhancements in spiritual vision, and often you can enter trance-like states. Method. Relax your body and begin to breathe in and out deeply until you feel at rest. Imagine a bright light in front of you. This light represents God, the highest, purest form of consciousness and energy. Breathe in and say, "I'm in you," in your head. As you do, see yourself entering this light and being surrounded and covered by it. Breathe out and say, "You're in me," in your head. Imagine the same light bursting from your core and out of your body. Say, "We are one," in your head, and just rest in this light and hold this image. You can repeat this as much as you want. If you're uncomfortable engaging the light, then you can imagine what you perceive as being God or Father in front of you instead. This meditation works on both your internal and external atmospheres, as you are training your awareness of God within you and around you. I did this meditation consistently for over a year, and the benefits were second to none. This was actually how I accidentally initiated my first outer body experience. A natural byproduct of this meditation is peace. By doing this every morning, you set yourself up nicely for the day ahead, as you are anchoring yourself in a restful state. You can then flow from this state throughout the day. Now, this is how you maintain peace, love, and high levels of nonchalance during crisis. You are the one with the light, and the light is one with you. Darkness must flee when light enters. Sleep meditation. Simplicity is everything. The technique above is enough to get you started on your journey. But the following technique is one that can help those who may suffer from insomnia or the inability to fall asleep quickly. As a precursor, I want to encourage you to listen to your body. If you feel tired, don't resist. The notion that the flesh is our enemy isn't conclusive with the fact that our physical body is the vehicle every human must master if they want to emulate the great masters of both modern and ancient ages. You must foster a positive relationship with your physical body, as well as your soul and spirit. The three must enter triunion. If you want to sleep quickly, but keep battling your body when it tells you it is ready to go, you will cause more harm to yourself than good. With that being said, the ability to fall asleep quickly can be practiced and developed. Method. Take deep breaths and relax the body. We will delve into brainwave states in the future, but it is important that you start every meditation by entering a more relaxed state. Lie down. Starting from the face, relax every part of your body. Relax your arms, your chest, your legs, etc. Now engage your imagination. Visualize each part of the body shutting down as you relax it. Rest and breathe. If your mind is still busy, then you can focus it on one thing. I recommend seeing yourself in heaven or a realm of light. This places your consciousness and attention away from your body, making it easier to fall asleep. Note: these techniques should be practiced consistently until they are no longer necessary. Trying them once and then giving up because you didn't feel anything will not yield the result you are looking for. Eventually, you won't have to meditate daily, and the effects will become a part of who you are. Scripture meditation. The purpose is to learn to use scripture as a doorway into higher states of consciousness and encounter. This is recommended for more religious people. Select your scripture. Close your eyes and use the voice in your head to say the first word only. Feel this word. Relax as much as you can. Keep repeating this singular word until you feel like it is time to move on. Then add the second word and repeat. Continue until you reach the end of the passage. The more you practice this, the more you'll begin to experience various sensations and changes within your own mind and body. Eventually, you become what the scripture contains. This is far more effective than just memorizing scripture. This is particularly effective with I am statements. If a scripture originally reads, "You are the light of the earth," it is recommended to meditate using "I am the light of the earth." Note: you can pause mid-sentence and continue in the next session. There were days where I would spend hours literally on a single word. Chapter 8. Peace. Now that you've been given your first exercise, let's delve into this peace that humans desire. Often, people attribute environments with emotions. A common belief is that if you go backpacking to Africa or Asia, for example, you'll find yourself and come back possessing a serenity you once lacked. Peace isn't found in a place. It is in fact found in the heart and mind. I grew up hearing the Hebrew word shalom, which means peace, and I grew up hearing it get thrown around. Shalom actually contains the letters Mem, Vav, Lamed, and Shin, which mean chaos, attached, authority, destroy. When you subsequently read the Hebrew from right to left, this word then means destroy the authority attached to chaos. Now this is how one truly obtains peace. Every time you become angry, worried, afraid, or panic, you reinforce neural pathways associated with these emotions. The more these emotions are engaged, the more prominent they become, and the more authority they have. If left unchecked, you will end up defaulting and expressing these emotions whenever stressful situations emerge. Now, every time you meditate, you undo all the years of programming that you've passively allowed to develop. The good news is that this process doesn't take as long as you might imagine. 90 days of consistent meditation can undo years of negative programming. When you unlock this shalom through union, your whole demeanor will change. Life can't sway you how it used to. People can't anger or annoy you how they used to, though they might try. Quite frankly, you obtain one of the most valuable skills necessary to live a stress-free life: detachment. You lose the desire to explain yourself when accused, as you become aware of the fleetingness of people's opinions. Hence, people-pleasing goes out the window. As your sensitivity to the light within increases, you become aware that certain actions and thought patterns inhibit the presence from being fully active. When you are then able to avoid these actions, you enter what I like to call the flow state. This journey is far less fun if all the stages are laid out for you, so for your future benefit, I will not be explaining what this state entails. As everyone is designed differently, no two people's journeys will look the same, and so I'd be doing you a disservice if I told you that your process will be the same as mine. Practice meditation until you obtain this state. Enjoy. Summary: peace is already within you. You just need to access it. Detachment is the key to remaining in the state of flow. Chapter 9. When you begin practice, it may be extremely difficult for you to focus, as it was for all of us. Training your mind to be still is an art within itself. I have compiled some techniques to help with some of the common issues beginner practitioners tend to encounter when starting. fidgeting, and impatience. To solve this, you want to split your meditation up into smaller segments. Do 30 seconds of meditation, and then do something else, something completely different, and then come back in 5 minutes and repeat. Build up to 1 minute. You can do this with a timer. The more you build, the longer you'll be able to go at one time. At the time of this ebook being written, I was trying to push past the 2-hour mark, as that was where restlessness began to activate within me. When I first started meditation, this restlessness would happen at around 5 to 10 minutes in. And the same technique that I use now to deal with it, the one I've just described, is the exact same technique that I used back then. Managing intrusive thoughts. The number one rule is do not beat yourself up. One of my mentors, Justin Paul Abrahams, gave me an analogy. The mind is like a puppy. Each time it runs off, you bring it back gently, and eventually it behaves. Each time an intrusive thought comes, observe it and let it go. This is part of the detachment I previously mentioned. You must learn to bring your mind back to focus on the light. If you have spare time and want to practice this skill, here is another meditation that you can use. Imagine you're outside of a cinema. Walk in, find a screen, and enter. Take a seat. You're the only one in this theatre. There's a remote next to your seat. Pick it up. Press play. A thought then appears on the screen. Observe it. Hit pause. Observe the frozen frame. Use the fast forward and rewind buttons. When you've seen enough, hit the delete button and watch it disappear. The more you practice this, the more detail you'll be able to add in the environments you create in your mind. Sleepiness. Sit in a position that won't allow for you to fall asleep too quickly, unless that's the goal. I don't meditate lying down unless I'm trying to shift my consciousness from being awake straight into a lucid dream or an out-of-body state. And to be honest with you, I do that sitting up now anyways. Sitting with my back against a wall or somewhat vertical surface is what helps for me. You will still fall asleep sometimes, and that's okay, but do not resist, let the body go. When you wake up from falling asleep, however, if you have time, go back into meditation. If falling asleep is a major issue every time you meditate, go to a park or meditate during the day. Lack of discipline. Use the list of reasons you wrote after reading the previous chapters as motivation. Ask yourself, how badly do you want it? Everyone likes the idea of being a superhero, but not many are able to maintain the consistency of practice required. What you put in is what you get out. Bonus, manifestation. Let's get a little more advanced. Meditation is the doorway to all things spiritual. When you learn to enter the realms of the spirit through meditation, you gain the ability to influence reality. As you develop and mature in your relationship with the divine, you can manipulate time and space to create and form that which you desire. For this to be fully functional, however, you must have a deep love for whatever you desire to govern over or create. This is why the union meditation comes in handy. As you become one with the light, you become one with the all in all, the source of all life, the source of all beings. It becomes increasingly difficult for you to separate yourself from the world around you. You are one with nature, you are one with humanity, you are one with all. Union is the solution to the world's problems. In union, there cannot be racism, sexism, homophobia, and the like. There can only be love. Love conquers all. Love is an emotion that carries one of the highest frequencies. If you then purpose this love and put this energy into motion, emotion, it can lead to the creation of beautiful realities. This is a heavenly principle, and its blueprint is even reflected on earth through reproduction. A man and a woman carry an intense love for each other, and from this, life is created. In the same way, you can spiritually create realities where love, joy, happiness, and peace are abundant, so long as you love what you are trying to influence and change. I used to practice this on my parents. When I would spend time away from home, I would hold them in my heart and use meditation to visit their house spiritually. The more you practice this, the more immersive the experience becomes. I would then enter their room and release love and peace over them and the household. I would then find the whole atmosphere in the house lighter upon my return home. Now this is true manifestation. Out of love, you create life and abundance, not out of carnality. Governance exercise. Breathe in and out deeply as you relax your body. Think of someone you love and care about deeply. Hold an image of them in your mind. Imagine a sphere of light growing from inside your body to outside of it. This light is the light of love. It comes from your heart. In your imagination, teleport to where this person is at that current time. Let this scene construct itself. Stand over them and release light, life, love, and everything else you deem suitable. I like to release those in the form of light rays. Once you're done, return to your body. This technique can be used to heal people remotely. It can also be used to manifest and alter material things and systems in this world. Getting comfortable doing this on people is the first primary objective. Conclusion. For those of you who've made it this far, thank you for taking the time to read this. This is the document that would have saved me a lot of time and energy if I'd have had access to it at the start of my journey. With the information contained, you can build up the habit and do so effectively. Now I encourage you to use this PDF or audiobook as a reference and guide, especially regarding the sensations and effects that may occur. If you encounter anything not listed in this book, then you can always message me on Instagram or in our community Discord server. I also provide advisory services, one-to-one consultations, and private coaching if you feel like you may need a bit more guidance or just some accountability on your journey. Now, the path to peace is very much just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to kingdom spirituality and maturing in sonship. Lastly, I urge you to please bear in mind that an excellent building must be set upon a firm and solid foundation. Now do with this what you will.